Welcome to the Elegance of Nae. I'm your host, Nae, and on this podcast, we'll be talking about a variety of topics with amazing stories. Let's get into it, shall we? Welcome back to the Elegance of Nae. I'm your host, Nae, and on this episode today, we're going to talk more about who I am. In this episode, you're going to hear more about my story, my career, and some topics. But this episode will be a 3-parter, only to make it easier on the ears. But we're going to start with my story. So who is Nae, right? Nae is a woman, a black woman, a black grown woman, a woman that knows how to carry herself to the best of her ability, the most elegant way she can be. She can also do many talents, many things, all through her genuality. But where do you start, right? I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, and I've come across so many things in my life. Growing up, I had 2 brothers at the time, going on 3. And I was the only girl on my dad's side. On my mom's side, I had my oldest sister, so I always had somebody to talk to, for girl time and to always lean on to for support when needed. Had my mother and then I had my father. Grew up with different type of ways of learning and knowledge and how to carry myself and who to not be around and how to push myself. Growing up, I was never this type of woman or girl, per se, that hung around crowds that just did too much. I was never the type of girl that you would see hanging around with people that's like over exotic or doing the most of themselves. I was more so around people that had a purpose in life, that had a strive, that had that go-getter mentality. Not saying that others didn't. I'm just saying, I only saw myself around people that had a goal. I'm not saying others didn't either. However, me being around those people and those individuals, I always carry myself through them like they were somewhat of a mentor for me. Telling me that, some rights and wrongs, giving me a little bit of the ins and outs, knowing what to say and what not to say and how to treat people from just based off the knowledge that I came across. I always loved the fact of growing up with older people because they taught me the old ways of life. And growing up, I always loved the style of being comforted by family or friends and having that ability to just be myself from within. I wasn't always able to express myself so much growing up, and when I wasn't able to express myself verbally, I went to drawing and sketching. And from there, I was always able to express myself through my art or through music. Growing up, I also was in a choir for a brief moment, and it was a lot of fun being able to show off my vocals and being able to sing some tunes and get to know how to read music and how to write music and how to make beats and so on and so forth. And then moving on to my art, I've always been able to express myself through my art and being able to really pinpoint how I can really show a bold message through something that's so fabricated. I also went through a lot of mental challenges as well growing up, being depressed or being sad or going through a lot of grieving and so on. And it wasn't easy. Grieving is never easy. Losing the people that you love or care for, cater your time to, it hurts, it stings, it makes you feel so many type of things. And I get it, and I feel you. But I also learned a lot. I learned from very big mistakes in my life. I've learned from who to be around and what to say and how to say it and how to really carry myself in a way where people won't judge me And even if they did, I wasn't worried. I always seen myself in a light where I could grow, where I can share my knowledge, where I can see other people's stories grow through my platform, or just being able to exfoliate their way of wording and how they carry themselves. I always loved hearing people's stories, and that's why I made this podcast. I made the podcast dedicated to all the people I've been in contact with, and being able to network with these people and learn them and learn their stories and see them growing through so many stages from the beginning up until now. And it's just beautiful to me. We all go through our own private affairs or private issues and matters at hand, and it's okay to go through a lot of things, and just long as we have somebody to lean on or to follow or to cater our time to, and even if we don't, it's okay as well, as long as you're still pushing through. I know in life we all get hit with the trials and tribulations, and it gets harder for us to be who we are and to be humbled and to stride in a way to where we can't always dictate how things are going to go, right? But to me, it's like taking the elegance of an essence and fabricating it into something so lovely, so beautiful, so genuine, and turning it into your reality. The word reality is like, it can go in so many different ways, and I feel like when you live life and go through so many changes in your life, it's either you're going to pay attention and learn from the previous life and the stages that you dealt with, or moving forward and just dealing with what you're dealing with. I mean, it's kind of just hard to dictate how you really want to do things in your life, but I feel like with so many things that goes on in life, you learn through so many things, or you get faced with so many things to learn from them. And that's similar to what I deal with. Everybody has challenges, and so did I. I have so many stages I've learned from in my life, and you will definitely learn more about that the more episodes you listen and tune into too. I don't want to tell too much on a lot of topics, but I definitely want to be as transparent as I can be. I definitely want my audience's feedback of questionings and asking me anything that you want. Of course, not sexually, but just being real. Ask me. You can ask me a deep question. I don't mind being open and honest about it. And I'm also very lenient to people that really want advice and that I can give. I know in life it's not always easy things to deal with, like personal matters or relationship matters, love matters, and things of that nature. Growing up for me, it was hard to be myself and be real, because I was trying to get to a point where it felt like I had to fit in or be somebody that I wasn't. And the older I got, and the more I realized that I don't need to be these people, I don't need to be around them, I can do this by myself, or I can be around people that really has a goal, the more I strived, the harder I ride for what I really wanted in my life.
Hey guys, we wanted to take a quick little break just to do a quick shout out to TC's Art Gallery. That is T as in Tom, C as in Cat, S as in Sam Art Gallery. They do custom art, custom jewelry, and custom photos. They also help with your logo, updating your website, or if you need a website, and they help with social media advertisement or social media management. If you don't feel like dealing with your social media at all, contact TC's Art Gallery today. That is T as in Tom, C as in Cat, S as in Sam Art Gallery. And also check out their website at tcsartgalleryllc.square.site. All right, back to the show.
I can definitely say in my life, the definition of trials and tribulations are real. I went through my life with so many challenges. Not saying everything was easy and peachy or crystal and clean. I just went through life. And life isn't always easy. You learn a lot of things, you do a lot of things, you get taught a lot of things. And I feel like looking back for myself, it wasn't always easy. I went through stages in my life that I didn't think that I would go through. I went through parts of my life where I felt alone or separate or detached from reality that I just didn't want to go back to or be a part of. I had moments in my life where I was really depressed, where I just didn't want to be here, where I just didn't want to be heard, didn't want to be talked to, where I thought everybody would be happy if I wasn't here, right? But I was wrong. If I would have took my life, I wouldn't have been able to grow strong right now. If I would have took my life, the only thing and the only one that would remember me is my family. And maybe a few friends, but that's very minimal at that time and end. I'm thankful and grateful of pushing myself to the extent of my abilities and showing my creativity and growing with my passions and moving in a great mobility to where I can really truly say that I am me. It took some time to get here, and trust me, I get it. It does. It takes time. However, it's all about your strength and the people you surround yourself with and how you carry yourself and how you choose to motivate yourself that will really dictate who you are. Life will always have its ups and downs and its trials and tribulations. But really, where do you start? You start where you feel most comfortable, whether that's indoors or out, whether that's with headphones on or headphones off, whether that's with rock music in the background or jazz. You start where you feel comfortable with. It's not always easy to dictate your life already. It's never a breeze. And I get that. I've always understood that. I definitely always would say get help if you feel like you're getting to that extent in your life where you no longer want any help or don't want to be here or whatever it may be. If you feel comfortable with sitting in front of somebody and talking with them, letting them get to know you, letting them help you become the best version of you, then do it. If you don't feel comfortable with doing that, but you have comfortable outlets that helps you become who you are and lets you become comfortable with whom you are becoming, then do that. But just know it takes time and you have to be strong. Life is not always easy. However, the strongness that is within you, the strength that you have, will come out. And it will captivate that dark sense of humor, or not dark sense of humor, but the dark times that you're dealing with. It is not easy, but you're going to get through it, just like I did. I had moments in my life where I felt like I was never heard, where I couldn't talk to anybody, I couldn't really make any friends, I couldn't be who I am. But now I'm at a point in my life where I'm just happy and it's just genuine. Nobody's judging me, nobody's dictating my life, nobody's harming me or making me feel like I'm not right in the head or whatever, or just not right. But that all depends on who you choose to surround yourself with, right? The people that you surround yourself definitely plays a part in your life. Their energy can rub off on you a certain way where you know it's not right. And I know it's hard to just let somebody go the longer you've been with them or the longer you've told them your life. But sometimes people are just here for a season and you can move on, right? It's going to be hard. I'm not going to say it's easy. But that step to take, that one step at a time, can put you in a standpoint in your life where you will look back and be like, wow, that looked easy, but I know it wasn't. But look at me now. Once I went through my dark times, the only thing that hindered me from growing here and there was grieving. Grieving is not easy, especially when you lost someone that's so close to you. I mean, so close to you. At one point in my life, in 1 year in general, like literally in 1 year of my life, I would say I lost 10 people in my life. In 1 year, I've never lost that many people in my life, ever. And every blue moon, I do have my moments where I still grieve. And it's not easy. It's been like 3 years now from losing these 10 people. But I'm still pushing through every day. Even though I miss them. I miss them so much. But I know they wouldn't want me to stay in that dark time or that dark headspace. Because I wouldn't go anywhere. I wouldn't be growing. I wouldn't be helping others. I wouldn't be motivating others. I wouldn't be giving genuality. I wouldn't be giving happiness, joy, and kindness to anybody because I would be in a dark space. And not only of me being in a dark space, I would be rubbing that energy off to my friends or my family. And that's not healthy. It's not healthy. But it's okay. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel disappointed, to feel a little angry or upset. It's okay. But just know that try not to stay there. Don't let it own you. Don't let it take captive over you. You gotta push through. Grieving is not the easiest thing to go through. And trust me, I know. I lost grandmothers, I lost my kids, I lost my aunts, uncles, friends. I lost a lot of people in 1 year. But I'm still here. Once again, it was not easy. But I'm here. And as life goes on, you will get better. The harder you strive, the harder you ride for yourself, the easier it'll get. Not saying that it will happen overnight. Not saying that. But over time, it will definitely help you. If you know you are at a dark space and you need help, reach out. Reach out to somebody that you can trust. Or even if it's someone you don't know, reach out. Because sometimes the people that we are surrounded by or the people that we lean on or we look up to or we speak to on a daily basis can be our way out, can be our motive. It can be our, who knows, just someone that we can really count on. Even if they let us down here and there, they're human too. However, reaching out is something new for you, but it's a new start for you, a new beginning. I'm not always saying that reaching out to certain people is always the best, depending on the person, but it's a start. to show yourself that I am going through something and I don't like where I am. So how can I change that? And once you sit there and you notice that, you ask yourself, what's my next steps? What do I want to do? How do I want to go through this? Once you find that outlet, whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's dance, whether it's communications, whatever it is that's an outlet for you, that's your comfortable space, go for it. Go for it. Long as it's legal. Because, everybody had their little moments where, you think that you can, do some things and then you get a little illegal, but we don't want to do illegal. We want to be classy with it, or not a little classy, but, be common, have a little fun here and there, a little razzle dazzle. But, let's keep it on the legal standpoint. Okay. That's all I'm saying about that. But anywho, but yeah, so, but literally, like, be serious and real with yourself. Keep it 100 with yourself. And the more real and transparent that you are with yourself, the more you will be to someone else. Because then that shows that you have true love within yourself. That means that you're able to carry yourself in a certain way. That means you're able to exfoliate in a certain way. And you'll be able to be the true version of you, of who you really are supposed to be. Not who somebody wants you to be, who you want to be for yourself. You just got to keep it real. Keep it real. Just like you would want somebody to be honest with you, so where somebody can trust you and be around you and be comfortable and cozy around you, start with yourself. If you can't be cozy, if you had yourself in the room with you, figure out why. Why am I feeling this way? Why can't I be comfortable with myself in the room? Why can't I be comfortable with my own mindset? What is triggering this moment for me? Ask yourself that. And it's okay to ask yourself that. Yeah, it may seem a little weird, but at the same time, it's for you. Who else gonna take care of yourself besides you? It starts with you. One thing for sure is to love yourself. Take care of yourself. Nurture yourself. Back to a better standpoint. If you're down right now, I get it. Trust me, life is not easy. But also sit back and pay attention, or see what's surrounding you that's making you so down. Is it the people you're with, the environment? Is it the people that you choose to hang around? Really think about it and see if it's something that you can remove yourself from, or if you can get better from. If it's an environment that you can't remove yourself from, try to find an outlet to where you can be yourself. Even if it's something that's a struggle for you, trust me, I get it. Hopefully it's not anything on the abusive side, or whether that's physical, mental, verbal, whatever. Trust me, I get it. Going through life is not easy. But that one step that you take, it can be. Keep motivating yourself. Try your best to be as positive as you can be. Love yourself. Whether you're big, small, skinny, short, tall, whatever. Love yourself. Because who else gonna love you besides you, right? I'm having this conversation. I'm speaking on this because this is the vibe that I want to give through every episode that I have for you. I want you to tune in to hear these stories, to hear careers, to hear different topics that dedicate to reality, to show you that we've been through this. People have been through this. But everybody has their own story. Everyone has their own platform. Everyone has their own way of moving. We are not the same. We can think the same. We can have the same opinions, but we're not the same. We are our own people. We think differently. We move differently. We do all types of things. But that's the point of who we are. That's the point of reality. And I want this platform to be an escape way for people to just be transparent in themselves. Not saying you got to tell me whole business now, okay? But just something to show that, and then to be able to listen to yourself, to hear yourself, to see yourself. Say, wow, I've really been through this. Like, to be able to sit here and say, to go back in time, to hear about your past, that you're saying your past up until now, because you're standing right here with me, right? You're sitting right here with me, right? And you're able to tell me that I've been through this, but look at me now. That's what I want from these stories. That's what I want to hear from these stories. When you see these new upcoming episodes of people, that's the reality I want you to hit. That I want you to see. That we are our own people. We have different, numerous stories. However, look how far we've come. Whether it's the darkest story past, whatever that we've been through, look where I am. Look how I pulled myself out of this, right? And sometimes we gotta ask ourselves, or when we actually sit back and we're working, grinding to get to where we want to be, and we haven't sat back and look where I used to be. Look how far I've come. And sometimes you gotta pat yourself on the back, because not everybody can get through that, and that's okay. But it starts with that step, that one step at a time, because it takes time. I know time is all we have, and time is the most expensive thing we own, which is so true. However, it's how we use that time, how we choose to carry ourselves, how we choose to elevate ourselves, how we choose to dictate how we are and how we want to be within ourselves. That's what matters. That's what matters the most. So, how are we going to do that? Right? How are we about to get up every single day? Okay? Put on our shoes, put on our shirts, hats, whatever we about to wear. And take that step to where we need to ride. Where we need to rise up to strive. Tell me. In every podcast episode, I will always start an ending. I will start my podcast asking, how are you mentally and physically? And towards the end of that episode, I will ask, what have you accomplished this week? What have you accomplished today? And I'm asking because I'm actually genuinely wanting to know, for one, but for you to realize that, hey, you're okay. Look how far you've come today. And the reason why I ask these questions, and the reason why I'm getting so deep with it, is because I've always wanted people to do the same thing to me. When I was going through my depressive state, I've always wanted somebody to come to me and ask me, how are you? Are you okay? Because at times I felt like I couldn't talk to anybody. I felt like I didn't have anybody. But then as I've grown and I've looked back, I did have people. I just chose to be quiet, and I didn't want to say anything. Or I didn't want to be a burden on someone's life and territory. Or I didn't want to add on to somebody else's problems that they're already dealing with. And it's okay to admit that. But it's just about how you maneuver from that. How you choose to carry yourself from that. That's what matters. If you're choosing to move forward, I applaud you 1000%. Long as you're taking one step at a time and you're being yourself, that's what matters. That's what matters. The stronger you strive, the stronger the pride, right? But it's being real. It's being you. It's building the character that you really see yourself as. Dream big. The bigger the dream, the stronger the goals, the more you have a plan, and the bolder you have, the boldness that you'll have that will be told when you tell your story of how you became who you are. Everyone has a story, but how does your chapter start? For example, if I walked in a library and I came across a book with your name on it, and I open it, what is in it? Tell me your story. Who are you? How do you carry yourself? How do you want to be seen? Do you have a dream? And go from there. Talk to me. Thanks for tuning in on the Elegance of Nae podcast. I'm your host, Nae, and tune in for more episodes coming soon. See ya.